Welcome to another episode of Passionpreneur TV. Today I'm here with Linda Edgecombe, and I'm very excited to introduce you to her because she is a spark, a fire, a get up and go, a shift changer, a change maker. She's resilience in a bottle.
Nice.
You ever had an intro like that before?
No, that's great. I like it. Resilience in a bottle. Yeah, I should have had that last night. Sorry.
That's a gooder. So you're a speaker.
Yes.
And an author.
Yes.
And when you go out and you speak, you're just already cracking me up. You're there to bring humor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get booked for a topic area, but I've known for a long time that the funnier I was on stage, the more bookings I got. I mean, and I just simply love making people laugh. Laughter is just one of those catalysts that really pull people in, engages them. And I use a lot of self-deprecation. That's pretty much the majority of my humor. And so if I can beat myself up a bit in humor, it helps me get over the issue. But also people recognize, they laugh because they can see themselves in it, that's all.
They can relate.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and everyone loves to laugh.
Yes.
I'm just thinking that was what really drew me to your speech is that I just had such a good time. And I left with some real valuable information, which is really important for you as well, that people leave.
Well, you know, we'd been there all day and it'd been intense, and so we're tired. It was late in the day when I spoke at that particular event, but I knew that I needed to energize that room. That's what it really does. Laughter really energizes us because you get a big shot of endorphins. There's always, I mean, statistically, there's some people that are really hurting right now, that they're going through some really tough times. Laughter is the best bridge into healing. It just, in the toughest times of our lives, it's what helps us just move through it.
So tell me some of the topics that you find that you speak about and the ones that you're most passionate about.
Super passionate about busy, the deglorification of busy these days. I've had my own in the last few years of because I looked at myself and went, who is this person? I mean, my TED Talk on Friday, I literally said, I woke up 2.5 years ago and said, where had I gone? Who am I looking at in the mirror? Didn't like me. My oldest daughter at the time, who was in her late teens, and she says to me as I'm running out the door to go speak one morning, and I'm trying to get the kids, I call it the witching hour, the first hour of the day.
Right, you're like, get out!
Yeah.
Freaking out.
And she goes, are you always this cranky before you have to be motivational? Yeah, and I went, oh boy. You know, and it just, I thought, okay, Linda.
Wow.
So I walked over the counter one day, the whole family's in the house, and I tapped on the counter. I said, I'm off. I'm off the treadmill. I cannot do this anymore. So I became really obsessed and passionate about trying to figure out, how'd I get here? How has busy become the norm?
Right.
Let alone we glorify it.
Right, we do. We're like, I'm so busy. I've got this and that and the other thing. And you're like, yeah, and do you have any time for anything at all? You know?
But the truth is that because we're busy, and I'm going on probably too much about busy, but because we put all this stuff on our plates, people give you great feedback. Wow, how do you do it?
Right, you're just so busy.
So it feeds our egos.
Right.
And I decided.
But not our souls.
Not our souls. So that's where I've spent work, and it does take work. I took a decision and work and mindful work every day to step off that highway. And
cool.
I mean, I'm not totally there, but
I'm the low road. Yeah.
It's a beautiful place to be. I'll be honest with you. I can actually look in the mirror and say, "You're pretty cool, Linda." Now I'm going to get choked up, but I have not been there for a long time. Yeah, I'm extremely transparent.
Yes.
Probably to a bit of a fault, but the more authentic and transparent I've become in the last probably 4 or 5 years, people who've seen me for a lot of years say that's the Linda that they actually want on stage. That's the Linda they want to actually see. And I mean, I don't have to pretend anything anymore. And part of it's age, but it's pretty cool when you can just be yourself, and that's what people resonate with. Like, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
High five to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aw. I know you probably maybe get asked this quite a bit, but how did you become a speaker?
Okay, so I came out of university with a phys ed degree, which is like, now they call it a kinesiology degree. I worked as a community development coordinator for the city of Edmonton for years.
Okay.
Worked in Parks and Rec.
Okay.
And when I moved to British Columbia, I got hired from Participaction. I don't know if you remember Participaction. So I ran around as a consultant for Participaction, and I had to give presentations to the chamber or the Rotary or whoever about their messaging. healthy communities, healthy people. That was sort of the general topic. And someone once from BC Hydro was at one of these events, probably at a chamber thing, and said, "Oh, Linda, we're having a wellness conference. Could you come and speak at it?" And I thought, "Well, sure. How long?" And he goes, "Well, an hour." I'm like, because I had no idea how the heck would I even fill an hour,
Right?
Because I'd only ever spoke for 10 minutes at this point. He says, "What's your fee?" And I said, "An hour." Well, I was getting paid $25 an hour for participation. I said, $25, and he went on the phone, "That's great." $25. And I thought I was being savvy, and I said, "But it's in Vernon. Could I get a bit of gas money?" "Sure." So I think I got $10 for gas, so 25, 30, and I'm at $35. And he says, "You know what?" He goes, come early and join us for lunch." And I thought, wow, isn't that ever nice? I had no clue.
Great, yeah.
I had no clue. Anyway, so I went off to Vernon, made my $35 and got lunch. And because I made them laugh for an hour, and I delivered a sort of a wellness stress management lesson.
Yeah.
They then brought me into every office they had in the province, so it kind of unfolded from there. And then BC Hydro says, "Well, we need more. We need a half day." And then I totally I had to go back to school. I mean, literally, I started doing some research because I had how could I possibly fill half a day?
Right, with content.
And
yeah, here you are.
Anyway, and here I am. I judge how well I do by how many scarves I sell after an event. That's literally how I rate myself anymore.
So tell us a little bit about the scarf. And what that means to you.
Well, I have been selling scarves for about 9 years. I run a charity called IWEN, IWEN, Intercultural Women's Education Network. We do educational intervention. We rescue girls out of child contract labor in Nepal and put the girls in school. Because girls in lots of developing countries get discarded. We know that. That's nothing new. And my girlfriend just happened to be a teacher in Nepal, and she says to me, "Linda, you're in front of people all the time speaking. If I give you a bag of scarves and you take it to your next event, maybe we can rescue a couple of girls out." Well,
wow.
That's 9 years ago. And we now hundreds of girls later, and hundreds and hundreds, like 800 of their mothers, we've educated and built a vocational center. Best decision I ever made, best decision for the planet that I've ever made is that when first time I went to Nepal, I'm a princess, and I thought to myself, my biggest fear is, will I be able to handle it?
Yeah.
And I'm ashamed, to be honest with you. So I brought my husband with me, and he has taken, I've always sold scarves. That's what I do. I'm a scarf lady. He has taken the charity and just,
wow.
Yeah. So the best decision I ever made for the planet.
Awesome.
And what's really wild is I can actually say, because we're a very grassroots, small charity, the only way we'll ever eradicate poverty on the planet is through education, because I've seen it. Anyway, heading back in March, starting a new program called Pillows on Purpose, because our mums sew all our scarves now. So the mums of the girls that we started with, I said, I'm buying them anyway. I might as well have the mums sew them for me.
Oh yeah.
Give them an industry.
Sure.
And anyway, so now I'm going to have them actually start sewing me some pillows. I'm calling it
cool.
Pillows on Purpose. So I'm going to go back for a couple weeks.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So my last question for you, my dear, is if someone was interested in becoming a speaker,
Yes.
how would one go about that?
Well, I talk to a lot of people who do. There's some desire, or there's someone who said to them, you should be doing more. Like I said to you, you should be doing more stuff on stage.
Yeah.
You have to get number one, really clear why.
Right.
And what? Because some people say, I want to be a speaker, but they haven't got a clue what they want to talk about. Whatever it is, whether you're talking about how to make lamps or how to balance your budgets or whatever, you got to have some presence, energy, and there's definitely a skill set to it.
Right.
And personality. But so when you start, I always say, just call me. I can connect you with people. I love this business. And I get to make people laugh.
Totally.
It's just a really cool career.
Thanks so much, Linda, for being so authentic, real, honest, and giving me all your energy for this. This was
you're
lovely.
a beautiful interviewer.
Thank you. If you'd like to learn more, always Google her, lindaedgecombe.com, or see some of her clips on YouTube. And I am encouraging you to follow in your own heart's desire. I'm Adara, and I dare ya to be different. You'll be talking about a story to get everybody laughing, and then you go over here and tell this other story and leave us hanging. Is that a skill set?
It is a skill set, and sometimes I forget it. I'll be honest with you, it happens. I practice while I'm on stage. That's what you don't tell speakers to do. You tell them to practice.